So, hey, everybody. Welcome to the Mind Body Experience. So I hope you're enjoying this platform and all the wonderful classes that are on it. There's so many amazing people here and things to attend. So I'm going to talk about today a 10-minute masterclass on 3 cool things about essential oils that you probably didn't know. So a little bit about me. I'm Lorna McCormick, and my mission is to empower women and families to take back their own healing ability, their own healing power, using plants and things that are around us in nature. I'm a master herbalist, a bioresonance practitioner, a nutritionist, and essential oil educator. And the reason I got into essential oils and the reason I'm here today talking about essential oils is that over the course of my training, as I began to learn more and more about the power of plants and also how not tasty some of them are. I really struggled with my kids when they were babies. I was able to get loads of potions into them and powders and teas and their milk and stuff like that. But as they got older, it got really more difficult. So when I was introduced to essential oils and learned that I just could rub them on their skin and I could diffuse them and that would support them, both physically and emotionally, for me, it was a no-brainer. Originally, I used to work in business and I was inspired to retrain after dealing with my own challenges around asthma and eczema. So that's very briefly how I got here today. Let's get stuck in. So the first cool thing about essential oils is that they are natural and that they are safe. So 100% natural. There are no negative side effects. There's no addictions. So unlike synthetic medication, which when you take it into your body sees as an invader. So it starts to build up a resistance to it. So over time, medications become less effective, meaning that you may have to go on to stronger medications or higher doses and things like that, which is not a nice cycle to be in. Also, unlike medications, they're non-habit forming and they're non-addictive. Plants will work at a cellular level to get to the root cause of the problem so that you don't find yourself in a situation where you are desperately in need of something. It's all about getting to the root cause of the problem. The oils themselves are extracts from plants with benefits and are 50 to 70 times more potent than the fresh herb itself. If you've ever had a cup of peppermint tea, and you have ever experienced a drop of peppermint essential oil, you will agree hands down that that is probably correct for sure. I used to drink a lot of peppermint tea to open the airways and help with asthma. When I inhaled one little tiny bit of pure peppermint essential oil, it practically blew the head off me. It was so strong. And within seconds, I could just feel my whole head being engulfed with these vapors and the opening up of the airways and the refreshing sense of it. So really powerful. Now, what I am talking about today is doTERRA essential oils, and there is a reason that I am only talking about doTERRA. The grade is what's called certified pure therapeutic grade, which means they're pure and they're potent. Now, that grade, I just really want to be clear here, that is a trademarked term. It is a marketing term. That's all that is. Okay, it's a marketing term. What it stands for is what I want to explain to you today. The essential oil market, in this illustration here, this represents the essential oil market. Most of the essential oil market is the oils, this is coming from a third-party company, are actually totally synthetic. What I didn't realize back when I started my training in herbal medicine and why we weren't really talking about essential oils as part of that training, because essential oils are the most potent form of herbal medicine. It wasn't included in that is because essential oils over the course of history were moved under cosmetics law. Cosmetics law is very loose law. It's a lot more stringent in Europe than it is in the US, but it's a lot more. It's still quite loose. So what we have here is most of the oils in the market are totally synthetic. Then you have food grade and then you have therapeutic. Therapeutic grade are going to be the oils that you pick up probably in a health food store. They will say 100% pure essential oil, therapeutic grade, that kind of thing. Now, in order to use those terms, 100% pure, the company actually only has to have 1% essential oil in that bottle. So as a consumer, you actually don't know what is in the rest of the bottle. So that's very concerning to me. And that may explain why some oils just don't feel potent and why they don't have the effect that we're reading about and why they should have a certain effect. So doTERRA is CPTG. As I said, that is just a marketing term. What it stands for is pure transparency. So this little illustration here shows you all of the testing that essential oils should go through, but unfortunately don't. Underneath every bottle of doTERRA essential oil, you will see a batch number. And the batch number you can type into a website called source2you.com, and that will generate a report by the third-party company and that is doing the testing, that will tell you exactly what is in that bottle of oil. And ultimately, at the end of it, it goes through the various tests. So these are all the tests that are done at 3 different stages over the life cycle of that oil, and from farm until the point that the lid is sealed on the bottle. And ultimately, it said this essential oil is 100% pure and 100% free from pesticides and contaminants. So that goes way beyond even what the organic label would offer you, because being in the food space, the health space, I would generally always opt for organic because I feel like, well, it's my best bet. I know that it's not going to be perfect. I know that contamination occurs, cross-contamination. I know that fruit, you know, an apple that has been grown in New Zealand and picked before it's ripe and held in storage, I know that that's not a perfect apple. So it's not a perfect industry, but this, in terms of essential oils, this testing method gives you 100% guarantee that there is nothing else in that bottle but essential oil. And doTERRA are the only company in the world that are offering that level of transparency. So that is what is unique about doTERRA, and that is what we really need to know and understand when we are choosing the essential oils, particularly for our family. Because what's worse is that in certain brands of essential oils, there's actually no essential oil in them at all. They are totally synthetic. So you're actually burning chemicals in your home, which is absolutely not what we want to be doing. The second part of that is where the oils come from. So basically, if you start off with a really weak, crappy plant, you're going to end up with a weak oil. So we go to the part of the world where that plant is native, and we work with the farmers in that area to really support that crop and make sure that it is sustainable and actually help them in terms of, as you'll see there from that graph, 60% of our oils come from underdeveloped countries. So we're not going in there and buying out their resources. We are going in there and working with those communities to help them secure their land and get the resources that they need to farm their land and actually make money off their land. So it's a really, really powerful mission, a very, very powerful mission. But that, for you, in terms of the health benefits, where the oil comes from in terms of how it has been grown, really determines the strength of the oil that is in that bottle, even when it's pure. So it's both where the oil comes from and then ensuring the purity of that oil from that moment. So the second thing is that essential oils are effective, often more effective than modern healthcare approaches, because essential oils actually have the ability to permeate our cell membrane. So that picture you see there on the right-hand side is one of our trillions of cells. And all of our cell membranes have a fat outer coating, a fat coating. Now, medications are all water-based. So if, for example, you have something that's viral-based, that is usually when the doctor will say to you, sorry, nothing we can do about it, just go home, sit it out, and that kind of thing, just with general viral-related issues. And that's why, because water-based medications, viruses reside inside our cells, and water-based medications cannot actually get into our cell to deal with that. Now, bacteria, on the other hand, reside outside our cells. So that is when you get prescribed the antibiotic, because then the antibiotic will deal with that bacteria. Now, the antibiotic also kills all of the good bacteria, which you do not want, but in the short term, let's say it resolves the problem. So essential oils, because they're also fat-based, have the ability to break through our cell wall to actually deal with any threats that are going on inside there. So to get rid of, stop viruses multiplying, get rid of any toxins. Our body tends to store toxins inside our cells if it's not getting rid of them fast enough. So it can actually start working on the integrity of the cell and ensure that the cells are dying off the way they're supposed to die off properly in a process that's called apoptosis. In terms of the price of the essential oils, they're actually far more affordable than most people would believe. So what I mean by that, I'm going to give an example of one of the times that my daughter got an earache. And the first time it happened, she was brought to the doctor and paid 20 euro for the visit, probably 15, 20 euro for an antibiotic. The next time that happened, I was able to use 1 drop of Melaleuca essential oil on her ears with a carrier oil, not in her ears, by the way, always around the ear, never in the ear. And within 10 minutes, that problem went away. So that was something that was resolved for pennies within a few minutes, versus having to take time off work and maybe having to be at home with a child for days on end. I know we're all at home now anyway, but in normal circumstances. So in that instance, when you think about the opportunity of avoiding issues and resolving issues really, really quickly, and that is what I am most grateful for here, is that I could count on one hand the number of times that I've had to visit the doctor with my kids in my 11 years as a parent with 3 kids. on one hand, because I felt like I always had the tools to deal with something really quickly, right at the first sign of a challenge, to be able to deal with it really quickly, really effectively. So that's really what's most powerful. So they're the 3 things that you need to know about essential oils. I'm going to quickly introduce you to 3 ways of using essential oils. So number 1 is inhalation. We'll all be familiar with that. That's a very powerful way of using the oils. And when you inhale essential oil, it gets into the part of your brain that stores your memories. It controls your emotions and your moods. It regulates your blood pressure, breathing rate, stress response, heart rate. And it only takes 20 seconds to change the chemistry in that part of your brain. So anything to do with mood, obviously respiratory conditions, and also when it comes to diffusing, you can clean the air in your home really effectively and really easily. So that's one of my favorite ways. The second way is topical usage, and this is where you're going to use a carrier oil, and there's various different benefits. One way is not more effective than the other. It depends what problem or benefit you are looking for. What I love about using essential oils topically with the carrier oil is that when you put oils up and down the spine, which is my favorite way to use them on the kids, I just make up little roller bottle blends for immune support, for sleep, for all those kinds of things. When you rub them up and down the spine, that is connected to every part of your body. So the oils will start to move around the whole body. When you put the same oils all over the soles of the feet, again, looking at a foot reflexology chart here, and within 45 minutes in an adult, the essential oil will be in every single cell of your body. So that's my favorite way to use it. But if you had like a tummy ache or sore knee, you're going to put the oils in that case directly onto the problem areas. So if you can put your finger on the problem, you're going to put the oil on the problem. Great. So that is the end of our super, super quick essential oil class. I want to invite you maybe just to screenshot this page here. So I want to invite you just to sign up for some free information on essential oils. And this is going to get more into depth on the various different aspects of our health and where essential oils can help you in terms of day-to-day nuisances like headaches, emotional support, moods, green cleaning, low tox living, all that kind of thing. So just go to, I need to move my picture there, I think. There we go. Yeah. So go to lornamccormick.com/free. And there you'll see free training, Low Tox Living 101. So it's a free 5-day email course to jumpstart your journey with essential oils to a low tox life. So just pop your email when you get into that page, but also feel free to reach out to me if you would like to speak to me. I want to invite you to a call with me to learn more about these essential oils as well. And if you just pop onto my website, you'll be able to find me there. So enjoy the rest of the event and take care. Bye.